Alright, so we finally got the right swing arm that fits our bushing set. This is a 2000 to 2008 setup. This is DNA part M-SA 2006. The wrong one is really it's a 1980 up to 2001. They say 84. Maybe there is a difference because that was the year they went from the shovel head to the Evo, which, as you know, my bike has neither because it's got a twin cam 103 shoved in it. Yeah, get that out of the way. But this bushing fits up in this, and this one has a collar, has a stop on it. I don't know if you can see it right there, which actually the video does turn out a little bit better usually, I hope. But that stops this from bushing from this. I guess it's a bushing from going any further. Yeah, it's bushing. It's got a brass piece in there. These are a lot better design and a lot less failure rates in them than the older design Harleys. I guess that's why they went with it. But like I said, it's got a little bit bigger shaft. So this is from 2002 to 2008, and this is the swing arm my bike needs. DNA. I would be willing to give you $100 more for a painted swing arm and have these painted. Leave them bare here. We're going to leave the back side of this, and let's come around. I got Harley golf cart stuff in here. It's for sale, by the way. If you look, the plate's nice and shiny. That's the way I want to keep it. That way when I line it, bolt everything together, then I'll paint these. I'm going to tape these up so they won't be painted. I'm just going to paint this and the edges. And then when I assemble it and put everything together, you won't have any paint on your surfaces. The blocks that are on the rear end aren't painted. You want steel to steel. You don't want any paint in the way or debris causing problems. But anyway, I'm going to get ready to paint all this, and we'll get back with it once we get this done. This part that's kept us here for 2-3 weeks. So I'll be back with you. Okay, so we've got it cleaned. Prep saw. You don't have to get this product. Prep Saw's brand name. Wax and grease remover. There's a lot of oil and everything on it, so when you're going to paint it, do that. You notice I taped it off. That's going to be bare metal. That way when I adjust it for the bike, then I'm just going to hit it with the spray bomb. I prefer, let's see, where the heck did I put the paint? Ace brand. Here we go. Ace, rust stop, blah blah blah, indoor, outdoor, black gloss. Ace paints will adhere to bare metal. I've got a 60 bar that was on my Harley for 2 or 3 years. It's got a few chips in it, a few dings in it, but I cleaned it. I did the same thing I did to this. I've got it on cardboard so it won't stick. And yes, it's still bare metal to bare metal. You might be able to paint it, do it together. I just really don't want to, because usually bare metal works best. That way there'll be no imperfections or anything else like that. And like I said, the bottom of these are, of course, bare metal. There's no paint on the back side of them. I taped them off. But that's the swing arm. Now to get it on and everything done on it and all that. Let this dry. I'm going to let it cure till probably Saturday. It's a couple days. And then put it on. Alright. We've worked on our body too. Lock it always because it can come open. The hinges that came with it were pretty decent. And this is the Trike Life. Rebecca. She was a little confused on my bike, which I was kind of pissed a little bit, but I've got the swing arm on. But the body looks good. It's got the lights. I did the wiring harness. All that you have to do. All the hinges come with it, the door and the body. And the metal pieces and steel. Now the DNA kit, like I said, these are painted now. They look decent. Why they weren't painted from them, I don't know. And yes, of course, the painted part, I have ground them paint off because you're going to have to weld the tabs on. See, they don't tell you squat about the shock tabs. But that's what your shock's hooked to. On the lower point, you got a short one for the left side, long one for the right side. Because on a Harley Touring, unlike the only other video I've seen, which is on a Sportster, and you can take the belt off of it easier. Harley Touring, you have to take the whole primary off to get the belt off, and the swing arm. And oh wait, yeah, I have the swing arm in. Note, do not push the bushings all the way in, as you will have to push them slightly back out so you can get it on. I never had that problem with the other one, but you know, it may be off a few thousandths or whatever, which really won't affect performance on a trike. But I've got it to this point. I cut the cage out from around the rear end. I took everything off because it's just me. So tomorrow I'm going to break it open and I'm going to put it on here. And we're going to see if that 65 tooth belt will work. If not, then I guess I will have to, I'll probably just order one. If it's like a couple $100, so just send me the damn pulley and I will swap it out, and then I'll throw this on eBay. I got a bunch of other stuff I'm going to put on eBay too. Pay my taxes to Uncle Joe Biden and be a good little comrade in America. Anyway, so here she is, and there she sits. It's starting to look like a trike. Oh, rule of thumb. If you're going to do your bike on the lift table and you get ready to set it down, I was lucky it didn't fall over. It could have just easily plopped over when I let it down. But maybe it's because I had my hand on it. But if you'll notice, with the rear end and all gone, oops, there with the lift table. If it was halfway up, your bike would be on the ground. And if it didn't kill you to begin with. So be careful when you're doing this. This is still safer than trying to strip a bike down on just a jack. I've done that before and it fell off, and luckily I caught it and I got it back on. Yeah, old Pumpkin here, we got a long record. I hope we got a long record more. Of course, you never know. After you die 4 times, you pretty much get the idea that, maybe I don't have that time. Well, anyway, let's get ready to go enjoy the day, and I'll get started on the rear end tomorrow. All right, here we are. Haven't put the cap on this end. If you can look in here, well, let's do it this way. I can pull it right back out. This is a Primo Riviera Stiffy Kit. It helps with side-to-side play. I always put it in here, put a deep well socket in it. That way it'll be about where you want it when you get ready to adjust the shift of the bike. In other words, you'll line the motor and rear end with the front end, or line it with the frame so it'll be true. Because whenever you take it apart like this, you may have it back where it was, you may not. And that's where it comes down to the, one of these joints down here, and then you've got another one up here under the tank to align it. That'll be a different video. I've got this apart. Let me take this off. Okay. Drop it. Alright. That's what it looks like apart. And with nothing to go on, your differential's inside your pulley assembly here. And if you look on the long side, I don't know if you can see that grease fitting in there. Yeah, you see. There's a grease fitting in there, and there's a grease circ there, and there's a grease out here. Which I'm going to do the pulley before I put it in. But I'm going to go ahead and mount the left side since it's the short side. Grease the pulley, get it put in, turn everything, make sure it's good. And then I'll put the long side on it and grease it up once everything's in place so it doesn't blow past your seal right here. You have a seal, so be careful when you're putting it back together that you don't mess it up. This is probably a two-man job, but I'm going to try to do it myself. I can always put another jack up in under there where the pumpkin, as they call it, is what they call the hub, the pumpkin. We'll get it on, and then this other one I'll put it on with the long end. That way it will just slide in place and I can put the bolts in. So let's get back on it. If you see, this side has already got the piece on it. I'm going to put it on and then torque the swing arm pivot shaft down to, I think it's 45 foot-pounds. The nuts on that is, the bolts is 35 foot-pounds. So once we do that and we get the swing arm on it, then we put it on, and according to Rebecca, if you're listening, 65 is what you got to put on the back of a 139 belt. Unfortunately, they don't make a longer belt in 1.5 inches that I know of. So 139 tooth, unless somebody makes specialty belts. And this is a Falcon SPC. It has, what do you want to call it? I don't look right. Nah, I guess it is. It's carbon fiber and Kevlar belt. It's supposed to be a little heavier than what they came with. Given the way I ride, it needs to be. Well, let's get back and get this swing arm cap put on, or whatever, I forget what they call it. Pivot pin, rear foot peg mount, whatever the heck you want to call it. But anyway, let's put 1 drop of red Loctite on each one. They may not require it, but I do. These lock rings have been used probably since '84. Alright, let's get back at it, and once I get the rear end on, I'll get back with you. So, got the rear end on. Got it adjusted. Pretty straight. Pretty even. I've got this sitting on a 2x4 to support it and keep the weight off the oil pan, which is what this was sitting on overnight, and it's just barely off of it. If you look, you can see that the deflection's pretty close. I've still got adjustment left, so the 65 tooth is probably the right call. Now, here's the latest problem. I welded this in because this was permanent. It comes with this. She didn't send me any tabs at Trike Life when I got it, but it's supposed to have something to go here. Well, they send you, where did I put them? Here we go. Steel tabs. You got a short one, you got a long one, and if you look right there, it ain't gonna fit. Reason being, here's the long one. So, reason being, the tabs you get with DNA are designed to use your original mount. So I'm done. Me and Mr. Cutoff Wheel are going to come out tomorrow, and I'm going to whack this off, and I'm going to whack this off, and all the load weight is going to go back to here on the original location through all this, and then I'll weld these on, and I'll be able to bolt the shocks right on, and I won't have to go through all this damn. If you look, you can see where it lines up down there. Yeah, you're looking at the floor, but I'm a one-man band. And then if you look at this one, it's just right there. Actually, that's a little close. Well, wait a minute. I forget. I'm lining it up with this. See how it don't work? Don't work there. But when you bring it over here, you can bolt it right there to there. So I got this to cut off in the morning. I don't know what the ideal is behind it, but if you're going to sell it, you need to sell the lower part too. That's just my opinion of it. She had a video where they had some kind of thing jury rigged on there. I don't know what it was. But that's not what DNA sends with it. So I'm just going to simplify it. I'm going to put it back in its original location and we're going to roll with it. Because I ain't got time for this. The 65 tooth pulley, like I said, it works alright with the belt. Everything's working good, smooth, well greased. You hear the grease in there. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way it looks. Happy with the way it goes together. Happy with the way it functions. But I'm not happy with that. So chop, chop, and change. What the black key says, chop and change. Good thing I got a welder and a torch. Have a good day.